Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to Dr. Monkey, where we laugh together and cry together, but hopefully take something away to treat each other a little better. Here's some interesting stories. One about a kid who finds a bike in OP's backyard. His mom goes really crazy when OP takes it back. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you enjoy it. Story 1. Backstory. I'm a single parent. I have a beautiful girl that's turning 5 in August. The past year, I've been fighting with the ex that tried to keep my kid away from me. Lawyers aren't cheap, and being single doesn't exactly help with my finances. A couple of months ago, I won the lawsuit, and I finally got to have my kid back at home again. For the past few weeks, she was saying she wanted a bicycle, but I was still recovering from the lawsuit bills. I wasn't able to afford it. Past week, I got my summer bonus, which finally gave me the financial boost I needed. So, yesterday, I finally was able to buy my little girl her bike she wanted so badly. I enjoyed my time with her riding our bikes. But then it was getting time for dinner, which I still had to make. So, we head back home and park the bikes in the backyard. We go inside, and I start making dinner. After about 10 minutes, I spot movement in the corner of my eye through the kitchen window that's on the side of the house. I see this kid, guessing 6 or 7 years old, just casually strolling by with the brand new bike I just got today. My heart dropped, and I ran to the front door hoping I'd catch him before he rides away. I was lucky I did. I yanked the bike out of his hands and freaked out to him saying it was mine, and he had no right just to walk into other people's backyard to take things. I was ticked. I forced him to get the heck off my property and set the bike inside my front hallway, thinking it's over. Boy, was I wrong. After comforting my little girl that never saw me this mad, poor thing, I returned to the kitchen to continue making dinner. 15 minutes later, the doorbell rings. It's the kid and his evil mother. Ian, you give my boy his bike back. He found it. It's his. Me. He found it in my backyard. I got it for my kid today. You should try teaching your darn kid some manners. You shouldn't trespass on other people's property to take their things. Ian, don't tell me how to raise my kid. Give him the bike back or I'm calling the police. Me. Call the darn police. And I slammed the door in her face. By this point, my 4-year-old is crying her eyes out, and I get to comfort her again, as she's thinking she's losing her brand new bike. Her sobbing finally over, I try continuing to make dinner, yet again. Preparations done, I'm about to put this all in the stove. Doorbell. I flip out, storm to the door, violently open it, getting ready to just explode in the idiot's face. Guess what? She actually called the police. I instantly calm down when I see it's the police, and invite one of the 2 officers inside while the other stays with the evil woman. I explain the situation and show him the box the bike came in, along with the receipt that has my name on it. He shrugs and apologizes for the inconvenience, assured me I won't be bothered again. I let him out and close the door with a smug smile on my face. I check the window to see what's happening, and I see her go into full tantrum. It ends with her in handcuffs and in the back seat of the patrol car. Bye, Felicia. Don't know what happened to her, and I don't care. I finally finished dinner, and my kid still has her bike. That's all that matters. Boy, what a day. Good for you. I hope it doesn't end up in a war with a crazy neighbor. She's probably gone a level higher in her insanity now. Just pay attention. Crazy people can ruin your life, even if the police say you're in the right and they're in the wrong. Story 2. My aunt hates me with a freaking passion. Every few months, she either shoves me into a wall or hits me to an extreme. And I mean to an extreme. She doesn't deal with a quick pop with the back of her hand on your mouth. She slaps you till you are bruised. Well, I would say that if it wasn't actually me she does it to. When disciplining her own children, it's only a screaming match or a quick pop to the mouth. Everything I do she takes as a challenge, and all she does is yell and yell and yell. at me. Most of the time. Shoot, I can't even have a door because her reasoning is boys don't need privacy, only girls do. I've been living with her for 2 years, and my life is hell. I can't go anywhere because I live in the middle of nowhere. She finds all the possible reasons to blame me for something. Candy in her room was eaten? I must have ate it. Cigarettes missing? I must have stolen. She has to find problems about me no matter what. I look towards something, my aunt starts yelling about how I'm giving her an attitude. I say something, automatically backtalk. She doesn't like the fact I'm extremely blunt. She yells at me for taking naps when she is awake. She's usually sleeping until 3 in the afternoon. I eat too fast, according to her, and she doesn't like the fact I go for seconds during mealtime. I got yelled at for not going through anthills because I am deathly allergic. One fire ant bite would put me in anaphylactic shock, while the common black ants you see in the backyard would put a huge bump that bursts when it's rubbed too much and create a huge rash on the location. Let me relive Christmas of last year. I told her that I wanted to play the game I got from my mom, who at the time was out shopping with my grandma. I think they went out to get some drinks for dinner. She didn't like that at all. She tried to make a huge argument about how I didn't appreciate what everyone else got for me. All I got was a pocket knife, a multi-tool, and a hat from them. I got like $30 worth of presents from them, while my cousins and my sister got $300 of presents each. I got up to go to the bathroom, and the next thing I know, I was shoved into Wallens being told about how much of an idiot I am for not enjoying Christmas. I was freaking unhappy, because I learned that I was freaking afterthought during Christmas for you. I see how you spent $70 on a Nerf gun for your 14-year-old son, whose hobby is to make random howling noises, and the first thing he did was shoot it at me. But that $10 hat was so draining on your pockets, but hey, at least my sister got $90 worth of nail supplies from you because my gift was so expensive. After her rant about my obvious idiotish behavior for being very upset, I was told in these exact words, "You are only allowed to live here because your mom won't let me kick you out." Now, let's go to Easter. I got freaking tired with her. I snapped. Simply put, I yelled at her, called her a self-centered idiot, and told her what she could go do with herself. The first step was justified for her, but I think 10 slaps was way too many. My lips were bruised, blood was coming out of my upper lip from her ring, and she kept going. My mom grabbed her and told her she was going too far, around slap number 3. But my aunt wanted to keep going. It took 2 people to get her off me. I mean, if I fought back, she was going to become the victim instead of me, and it would give more of a reason to keep going. Someone called the cops, and I thought maybe that would actually help. The deputy did nothing about it, saying kids will be kids. But hey, they at least got my name in the system. Of course my aunt blamed me, but lo and behold, my phone was in the kitchen when it happened. I am moving back in with my dad around June. When she heard that, she got ecstatic about this. She finally got her wish. I only have to tolerate her for 2 or 3 more weeks. I don't want to disparage your mother, but if anyone, including a relative, touched a hair on my child's head, they would be sitting in the back of a police car. I would do everything in my power to make sure they were in jail for a really long time. If you really want to tick her off, make something of yourself. Go get your education, get a job, etc. That will get to her more than anything. Trust me. Story 3. Hello all. I'm writing to you from the world of hospitals. I am a team lead for my department, who sometimes covers as a desk lady when they are understaffed. On my campus, outpatient imaging, X-rays, CTs, MRIs is done in a building separate from the main hospital. Very occasionally, the inpatient imaging department inside the main hospital will take some patients when there are simply too many appointments for the outpatient center to handle. They have a very tiny registration office waiting room for when that happens. However, it is important to know that they only open it when they are expecting outpatient appointments. Otherwise, they keep it closed. Today, This lady and her young child came in and walked up to my desk. She let me know they were here for his imaging appointment and wanted to know where they needed to go. I looked them up and saw they were going to the outpatient imaging building. I pointed them in the direction and began to speak. She almost immediately cut me off. No, we're not going there. We're going to tiny registration room. I was confused, but I let her know that the patient chart was showing me that she would be going to the outpatient building. She huffed and let me know that I was incorrect and that she knew that she would be going to the tiny registration room since she was there last time. The problem, since inpatient imaging was not expecting any outpatient appointments today, that little room was closed, and there would be no one to redirect her. I repeated myself one more time and let her know that our chart said she would be going to the other building. But when she interrupted me again, I stopped trying and just said, okay. She had a little speech about how she was already late. She was only about 5 minutes late, and I just kept saying, okay, until she walked off in the wrong direction. In all honesty, I'm not sure how much time had passed before this next part happened. It was probably at least 30 minutes to an hour. I heard a few sets of footprints down the hall, and I recognized her voice. She was complaining to someone about how our hospital was so ridiculous, and it was unacceptable that she was waiting for so long before someone came to get her. I didn't even want to turn around and look at her. Turns out she walked herself and her child to the closed registration waiting area, waiting outside the locked doors for however many minutes, and just began wandering the halls until a nurse found her. Of course, this innocent nurse didn't know about how I tried to tell her where to go, so she brought her back to me and said, "This lady can help you." Before the lady could say anything, I said, "Yep, like I said, your appointment is at the building right out there." We then had a brief conversation that went like this. Lady: "Well now, we're really late." Me: "Yes. Unfortunately, it seems he missed his table time. There are usually 2 times. Arrival time so you can fill out paperwork, and table time, which is the time you need to be in your gown and on the table. In our hospital, once you miss your table time, they will no longer take you and you need to reschedule." Lady: "So will they still take him?" Me: "Unfortunately, no. You will need to reschedule." Lady: "Well, I need you to call then and tell them I did show up. I was just lost." I think this was just so she didn't get billed. Me: "I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't do that." Lady: "Well, how do I make a new appointment?" Me: "You will need to call 123-456-7890. Lady: "You can't do it for me?" Me: "I cannot." Lady: "Are you serious? What do you even do?" Me: "I make sure everyone has a mask and direct people to their appointments." Lady scoffs. "Okay, whatever. Thanks for nothing." And she went out the front door while tugging on her child. I did not tell her to have a nice day. The poor nurse, who was just trying to be helpful, started to apologize, but I'll let her know it was okay. And that is the end for my story. I hope everyone else has a nice day. The stupidity is astounding. OP literally told her where to go, but she said, "No, I know better," even though OP works there. Should have made the call for her and made her appointment in 2036. Story 4. I live with my parents, and uncle, and cousin, whom I don't even care to ask for their age. I'm autistic and I currently live in a large house that I'm extremely grateful for where I live. I have my own room, plus closet and bathroom, couch and TV and everything. I am an only child and everything in my room is secondhand because I don't want to put a heavy burden on my parents and have them buy me expensive furniture and such. Since the house is under heavy renovations ever since we moved in 6 months ago, my room has turned into a huge hangout for everyone, including my parents who sleep here until their room is done. I will ask people to get out often if I'm working on schoolwork since I have a hard time focusing. Here's the part where my autism comes in. I have sensitivities that are nonsensical. Not wearing socks, sitting on my bed, touching my pets, moving items around, etc. And I'm very enforcing of these rules, since they mess me up and cause me to break down. No one in my household believes I have autism, and thinks I'm too healthy to have this disease, and therefore calls me selfish for enforcing them. Today came my breaking point. I am not a materialistic person, and I'm always giving stuff away if I see someone else likes it. But there's some things I can't do that with, including some clothes that are irreplaceable and comfortable. When we moved in, I couldn't find my favorite bra, and when I asked my mom, she said she had no idea where it was. Come to find out, she's not only been wearing it daily, but she tore it open, took out the underwire, and stretched the band about 4 hooks too far. I completely broke down. Sure, it's replaceable, but tried telling that to my unmedicated brain. I lost it telling her, I have no privacy, I have no respect in this house, only to have her yell back that I'm insanely selfish and no one in this house likes me. I have no privacy and peace in my own room. I literally have to explain to my own parents why I'm going to the bathroom in my own room, and even then they'll walk in and start doing their thing. I'm just so tired of all this. I'm sorry, but what the heck are you telling your daughter no one in the house likes her? Is she also undiagnosed? I'd say that since they can't respect your things, you should buy some sort of chest if you can and lock it. That's so sick, I'm sorry. Well guys, that's all for today. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing. And if you missed the last episode on the channel, I'm gonna link it right here. The story's about a woman who demanded OP to reschedule her surgery because the woman needed to meet her family. Check this out if you haven't, and I'll see you next time on Dr. Monkey.